When Marvel Studios announced that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be returning to the MCU as Doctor Doom, not only did they change the next Avengers movie from Avengers the Kang Dynasty to Avengers Doomsday, but they also changed a lot of their plans that they had that they've already announced and necessarily didn't announce at that time. For example, they had some shows and movies ready to go, which they delayed or simply canceled altogether. And they also have added new movies and shows to the production list of what they're planning to make as well. So it's about time we go over every single Marvel project that we know about, both rumored and confirmed, that Marvel Studios is planning on doing. So let's dive into it. Now, the first one is obviously confirmed. It is the Punisher special presentation releasing May 12th of this year. So really, right around the corner for us. Now, this is going to show us what happened to Frank after Daredevil Born Again Season 1, where he was captured by Kingpin and broke himself out. And then, of course, this is going to lead directly into Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is the next project, Spider-Man Brand New Day, July 31st. The trailer for this broke the internet. It became the biggest trailer of all time. And that's just the first trailer. Who knows what the second one's going to do? But we obviously got a good glimpse on what is going to happen in this film. And of course, it's even rumored that Sadie Sink's character could be Jean Grey, setting up the X-Men and the future for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I personally do believe it's Jean Grey, as most of you know by now. Now, the next one, Vision Quest. This doesn't have an official release date yet, as far as a specific one, but we do know that it is coming fall 2026. This one's supposed to be a pretty important project because it's basically bringing all of the members of Wanda's family back to life. We have White Vision, who is going to get all of the memories of the old Vision. At this point in time, he actually has all of the memories, but he's going to be kind of confronting them and learning how to deal with them and figure out how emotions work once again. Ultimately, by the end, he's going to become the Vision that we all once knew and loved. And then it's going to bring Speed, or Tommy, back into the picture. Now, in WandaVision, Wanda created fake children, but it looks like their spirits have now gone into real children, with Billy returning in Agatha all along, and Tommy's supposed to return in Vision Quest, so it's really important. Now, the next one is X-Men 97 Season 2, which is supposed to come in summer 2026. It looks like they're going to do the Apocalypse storyline based on the cliffhanger from X-Men 97 Season 1, so that should be good. Then we get your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, also coming in fall 2026, obviously picking up in Season 2 where they left off in Season 1. Then we have Avengers Doomsday, December 18th, 2026. The big one. Robert Downey Jr. returns as Doctor Doom. Then we have Daredevil Born Again Season 3. This is scheduled so far for March 2027. And it said that this is kind of going to wrap up the story and maybe even move on to the movies for Daredevil after, with rumors telling us it might be a Spider-Man Daredevil crossover. So fingers crossed that actually happens. That might actually happen in Spider-Man Brand New Day, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Then after that, we haven't heard about any other projects happening until Avengers Secret Wars. This will basically be when the new Marvel Cinematic Universe is made. This is coming out at the very end of 2027, December 17th, and it's supposed to start a brand new universe where the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and all the characters are really finally existing in one universe. Whether that starts in Doomsday or at the end, it remains to be seen, but that will start the soft reboot, as Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige called it. So after that, we do have some confirmed projects. The X-Men movie, and of course, this is the new X-Men movie. In Avengers Doomsday, we're getting the old Fox X-Men returning, which is honestly incredible. James Marsden back as Cyclops, Patrick Stewart back as Professor X, Ian McKellen back as Magneto. That is amazing. But of course, the X-Men are a huge deal for Marvel. They're some of the most important characters there are, and we need a new team. So that new team, with all new castings, new characters, new castings, everything, they are coming very early after Avengers Secret Wars. We're not 100% certain if they are the first movie after Secret Wars, but they are one of the first movies. The script has already been written, and it sounds like they've already done casting. Again, we believe Sadie Sink is Jean Grey, but it sounds like they've already been casting for a while, so they might have that already down. Then we have Black Panther 3. You might have heard a lot about this one recently. Denzel Washington is going to be in this movie, and it's said that we are getting a new Black Panther slash T'Challa. It's rumored to be Damson Idris. That is not confirmed, but it's rumored that he might be our new Black Panther. And it is said that we are supposed to see who this new Black Panther is in Avengers Secret Wars, with some leaked concept art already coming out showing us that Marvel does indeed have plans to bring in a new Black Panther in Avengers Secret Wars, which will most likely be the new one that we get in Black Panther 3. So far, that also could be the first movie of the new MCU after Avengers Secret Wars. It's either that or the X-Men. That's what most of the insiders seem to think. And Marvel Studios already has the release dates scheduled for some movies. They just haven't officially announced them yet. But after the X-Men and Black Panther 3, we have Blade slash the Midnight Suns. The most recent report that we heard about Blade is Marvel's not planning on doing it anymore. It doesn't mean they're not planning to do Blade, the character itself, but the movie has been through so much. They've gone through multiple different scripts, multiple different writers, multiple different directors. I'm surprised they haven't canceled it publicly yet, but it does sound like they haven't really been able to pin down what they want to do. So they're not going to do a Blade movie. They're simply going to have Blade debut in the Midnight Suns movie, which is all but confirmed right now by Marvel Studios. So Blade and possibly the Black Knight and maybe Moon Knight, along with some others, should be appearing in the Midnight Suns project. And I mentioned Moon Knight because we haven't really heard much about a Moon Knight season 2 in a pretty long time. It seems like Oscar Isaac would totally do it. Sounds like the directors and the writers would totally do it, but nothing's been really discussed at Marvel Studios lately. And that is because, like I mentioned in the beginning, Marvel really changed their plans for all that they were going to do because of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. So maybe once we get into this new universe, we could get a Moon Knight season 2 down the road. But unfortunately, we haven't really heard anything about it as of late. So don't get your hopes up, but it doesn't mean that it's not possible. So then we have Wonder Man season 2. This is confirmed. We don't have a release date for this, but Marvel just recently confirmed this. Apparently Wonder Man was very, very well received by us fans. I did personally enjoy it, and they saw the positive reception and went, you know what? Yeah, let's do a season 2. So they have officially confirmed that. Simon Williams is going to be back, and hopefully Trevor has a better ending in the season 2. Then we have Deadpool 4. This is confirmed. Ryan Reynolds confirmed this himself. He's been writing it. It's supposed to be an ensemble film. What that specifically means is kind of unknown right now because, again, we're going into a soft rebooted universe after Avengers Secret Wars. So will this be with some older characters? Will this be with some new characters? Will this be a movie that kind of takes place outside of space and time? It's unknown at this point. Could be an X-Force movie. We don't know, but it is confirmed that Ryan Reynolds is working on Deadpool 4. Then we have Shang-Chi 2. This one's really interesting because Marvel did confirm this. Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed the first movie and who was also directing Spider-Man Brand New Day and who directed Wonder Man, he was supposed to return with Simu Liu, of course, for Shang-Chi 2. And they set up a lot to happen in Shang-Chi 2 with the post-credit scenes for Shang-Chi 1. Shang-Chi is going to be a major player in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, so it makes sense that they would continue on with their plans to do Shang-Chi 2 after Avengers Secret Wars, since he is a relatively new character, and that movie was one of the best movies, not only to come from Marvel after Avengers Endgame, but just in general, my personal opinion. But let me know what you think about that. Then we have some complicated ones. Doctor Strange 3. The reason Doctor Strange 3 is complicated is because they originally did have some pretty big plans to make a Doctor Strange 3 movie, but unfortunately now, because they made all of these changes from Kang to Doom, it sounds like most of the story that they had planned for Doctor Strange 3 is basically going to happen in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. If Benedict Cumberbatch remains Doctor Strange in the new MCU, then yes, we should get a Doctor Strange 3. But because they're doing most of the story they had planned with him and Clea in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, we don't know if that's going to be the end of his character and they simply recast a new Doctor Strange in the new universe. Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, did say they are going to recast Iron Man. Captain America. He said they're going to recast, and we're assuming that a lot of recasting is going to happen because they finally have a universe where the Avengers and the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and everyone can exist together. It's basically them starting fresh with the exception of a handful of characters. Like Spider-Man's going to survive, we know that. But Strange's future, it's kind of up in the air right now. So if he survives, we get a Doctor Strange 3. If he doesn't and they recast, or even if he survives and they just decide to recast, we'll probably ultimately just get a Doctor Strange 1 eventually. And the next one's very complicated, Armor Wars. This was obviously confirmed at one point in time for Marvel Studios. It originally started off as a series, then they changed it to a movie, and they just delayed it, and they haven't officially canceled it yet. But considering their plans for it were to basically be about what happens when Tony Stark and Stark Industries tech falls into the wrong hands, well, they could continue that in the new universe, but considering the fact that Kevin Feige said they will eventually recast Tony Stark and Iron Man, I don't know if Armor Wars is something they're going to continue to plan on doing after Avengers Secret Wars. In my mind, unfortunately, Armor Wars is done. It's scrapped and probably won't happen. So if you were looking forward to that, I don't think it's good news. Sorry. Then we have Ghost Rider. This one's really interesting because Ryan Gosling confirmed he has had talks with Marvel Studios about playing Ghost Rider. He said it's pretty complicated, but there's hope. So we could possibly get a Ghost Rider project. It is also possible that he could simply debut in the Midnight Suns. I think that would make a lot of sense, but Kevin Feige has already said he would love Ryan Gosling in the MCU. Ryan Gosling has said he would love to be in the MCU, and it would make sense to have a Ghost Rider movie, and it sounds like it's going to be Ryan Gosling if that does indeed happen. We'll have to wait and see. Fantastic Four 2. This is confirmed. We are going to get a Fantastic Four First Steps number 2 at some point in time. Probably not too far into the new universe. Probably 2028 or 2029. But that is confirmed at this point in time. The next two and the last two are quite interesting because these were actually confirmed by Marvel Studios, but then they were delayed indefinitely. Nova is one of those. Now, Brad Winderbaum, the head of Marvel Television, confirmed a Nova series was in development at Marvel Studios. We then heard that it got delayed indefinitely. Seems like they just wanted to wait until after Avengers Secret Wars to start Nova and to go into a big cosmic side of the MCU. Ryan Gosling was reportedly in talks for that role as well. So who knows? He might show up as Nova, depending on which Nova they want to go with and how old they want to make him. But a Nova series should be coming with the rumored villain to be Annihilus, and kind of the story going a little bit into, not completely, but a little bit into the Annihilation event, the Annihilation wave. So that'll be really cool. Hopefully Marvel's just waiting until after Secret Wars to do that show. And then the last one is Strange Academy. Again, this was one of the shows that was confirmed and then confirmed to be delayed indefinitely. This would be really cool, especially if we did get a new Doctor Strange and maybe a new Wong in the new universe. It would be really helpful to have a show kind of explaining what is happening now and maybe diving into who the new Sorcerer Supreme is. I personally think that would be cool, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about all of this. What would you be most excited for? Let me know. Right now, I'm obviously most excited for Doomsday, Secret Wars, I'm really excited for all of it, let's be honest. I'm excited for all of this stuff to happen. But Doomsday and Secret Wars are going to be massive, and then the X-Men starting just a new X-Men team when it's been such a long time, and now it's a part of the MCU where they can interact with the Avengers. That's going to be pretty cool. But let me know what you are most excited for in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel news. And you can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.